This podcast is proud to be part of the TalkSport Fan Network. TalkSport. Powered by fans.
It's a goal! It's absolutely world class from Marcus Tunde!
Johnson puts it in the air. Aidan Flynn wins the It's still with Lee Gregory. He's in the box. Tries to screw it. Is it going to be there? Yes! Oh my word!
The Wednesday week!
Hello, good evening, and welcome to another episode of the Wednesday week. My name's Dan Fudge, and we are on the Hello from the Other Side edition. Tonight, I've got Simon joining me from the Speakeasy Club. I hope I've got that right. In. Always catches everybody by surprise, that one. It's always one of my favourite ones to drop. Simon, how are you, pal? You all right?
Yeah, good, thank you, mate. Yeah, how you getting on?
Yeah, not so bad. I'm a lot better speaking to you in your sexy Welsh tones. I don't know what it is. There's something really like chilled out about it that makes me, that makes me like, no, everything's all right. Everything's cool. Everything's all right with the day. Now, listen, Simon. Normally we're speaking to somebody from the other side, but you're going to be you're a Wednesday fan who we've identified as our South Wales correspondent. So, any games against Cardiff, Swansea, Newport, Merthyr Tydfil, we're gonna get right involved, and we're gonna, We're gonna call you for everyone now, depending on how the cup games go. Now, speaking about the cup, last time we lost 2-1 to Cardiff in the league. Coming up this Saturday is the FA Cup tie. It's at Hillsborough, isn't it? And I'm, I guess I can ask you, Simon, because I can't really ask a Cardiff fan. Are we bothered? Have we not got better things to worry about than a Cardiff City Cup tie? Right? It's underwhelming at best, isn't it?
Speaking on behalf of Cardiff City fans and Sheffield Wednesday fans, no one's bothered.
Yeah, it's going to be one of them games where, there'll be a lot of families taking their kids. Everybody will be pushed in the south stand. Maybe I don't know, but we should talk about it in a retrospective view and things like that. I mean, God, why are you from Yorkshire? I know we did a My Wednesday with you, didn't we, Simon? So just go into a little bit why you're a Sheffield Wednesday fan, just again in case anybody didn't catch that.
Yeah, of course. So born and bred Cardiff, so makes complete sense. I'm a Wednesday fan. 30 years I've been a Wednesday fan. So grew up, going to the old Ninian Park and always following Cardiff. But, when you're a kid, you have your local side, you have a Premiership side, and Wednesday were my Premiership side. So 93, the famous Cup finals. We don't need to repeat the result, but I was 8 and felt sorry for him. So I thought, this team get to Wembley all the time. I'm going to follow them.
Oh, they're there all the time. All the time.
This is like glory hunter, I thought. And 30 years later, you can't shake them. So, always followed Cardiff as well, down when they were Division 3, and just kind of went down and always kept an eye. Loads of pals who are Cardiff fans, and always keep an eye out for their results. But very, very, very firmly, number one is Wednesday. You can't shake them, can you? You can change your marriage, and you can change jobs. You just can't change your football team.
No, I don't think that's allowed. Although I am sat here in an NFL jersey this evening, and I find that they do that. It's genuinely really odd, like Las Vegas and Los Angeles have had a few changeovers on their team, so they've just gone, I support these ones now, and I find that absolutely insane. I don't understand, how do you have that, that connection to your team, right? It's your team. It just seems weird.
I mean, we've seen it once in British football with Wimbledon and MK Dons, and the issues that caused, and everyone else is going, thank God that wasn't us, because it just wouldn't work. So firmly a Wednesday fan. Do follow Cardiff, but I've had a bit of stick in the last few months, the first part of the season, from a lot of the boys around here, unfortunately.
Well, let's get into it. So let's talk about that game. I actually did prep up some stats, but I haven't got them ready. So as I'm going to pad a little bit and talk, I'm going to try and get that queued up into my picture. So it was one of those. Yeah, I know, right? We did really well. It was one of those games where Sheffield Wednesday, I thought, dominated for what's been one of the few times this season. I mean, I'm going to put the stats up now. So, we had the lion's share of the possession. And under Danny Rule, we seem to be shooting at goal a lot more. And there's been a lot more success in terms of percentage of shots on target, 2 shots. I mean, we're playing a lot more expansive football. And the Cardiff game itself really pissed me off. Now, it's been no secret, being the guy that did the montage of Cameron Dawson dropping his ass on the internet and everybody losing their mind about it. I've got to be careful about the way I speak about it, but he didn't cover himself in glory those last 20 minutes, did he?
No, is the exact summary. I think, just to not to repeat, but to reiterate everything you've said there, the football we're playing now is just poles apart. To kind of tie it in with the game at the start of the season in Cardiff, I mean, it was appalling. We just looked like we didn't want to be there. I went with a load of Cardiff fans, and they were like, "What is this, Simon? You've what on earth is going on here?" As if it was my fault. I could have sorted it, and then suddenly Bannon scores. Well, a screamer by anyone else's book, but an average goal for him. And suddenly it looks like we might nick a point. But then to get to 2 weeks ago now, and that, as you say, expansive football, we're pressing, it's fast, we look keen, we look excited. At Cardiff, we're just nowhere. They were absolutely nowhere. And, they're not playing the most electric football anyway. They have some very similar players to us. You've got Joe Rawls playing in the middle of midfield, who I rate. I think he's brilliant. He's like Bannon light, but in a way,
Diet
really,
Barry.
Yeah, Diet Barry. Yeah, Bannon. Yeah, and he really tries to get the side going. Very loyal. He is a leader. Very influential in that place, but there's a lot of young players in there as well. You've got a couple of fullbacks. Perry Ng's playing brilliant. He's a bit like Liam Palmer in a sense that he's just so consistent. You know what you're going to get, and he really can make a difference. But then, of course, you've got a couple of younger lads who were on the bench. And when I saw the team, I thought, oh, good. There's a couple of exciting young lads there. Ruben Colwill, for example, he's been called up to the Wales squad a few times. I thought, oh, good to see him on the bench. Ollie Tanner, who's gone down in Cardiff history, scored a screamer against Swansea. So anytime you do that, then you go down in folklore. So that was great. And the game was a bit like talking to Wednesday week's own Stevie Spence at half time and going, this is it. It's only 1-0. We should be putting this to bed. Second half, I thought, right, come on, early goal, and it could be a bit 3-4-0. And yeah, we made some mistakes, and I'm a fully fledged member of the Goalkeepers Union.
Right.
But I'm with you, Dan. I'm with you, mate. I mean, they were just, both of them was just, you have to be doing better. And
don't get me wrong. I'm not getting any joy out of watching this. You know what I mean? And if he gets the confidence back and he starts, I was watching some of our old videos. As you know, I put together the TikTok videos, and it's all like 2-second videos. And I was watching the penalty against Stoke, and I was like, wow, you can really stop a ball. But I feel like there needs to be a lot of work in positioning. There's a few times that, one's come in from the right-hand side and he's just stood next to his post and he's not closed the angle down well enough and stuff like that. Now, that would come with coaching. And we've lost Adriano Basso, and now we're back to Nicky Weaver once again. And then there's, like I said, I'd love to see him get better, one of our own and all that. But we do have to just admit that this isn't his level right now in his career. If he gets better and proves me wrong, win-win, right? But I feel like there might be somebody coming in this month in order to stand between the sticks. The strong rumour is Beadle from Brighton, but he's still at Oxford, so I don't know what's happening there. I'll tell you what, then let's get back to Cardiff. Let's talk about this. So up on the screen now, I've got the starting 11. The last time Sheffield Wednesday played Cardiff. Do you reckon we're going to see many changes there?
Yeah, I think probably a bit like Wednesday, they're going to bring a lot of the fringe players in. There's a few of the younger lads as well, I think, are going to play. It's just relentless, the Championship, isn't it? And, Cardiff are 9th. They're 3 points off the playoffs somehow.
Yeah.
So I don't quite know how that's happened. So, there is an element of we need to rest some of the players. It's a bit, again, there's a lot of similarities with Wednesday. Lots of talk about players coming in the transfer window. Lots of players leaving. Colwell and Periengi apparently are getting interest in the Premiership. And similarly, Cardiff are talking about Kiefer Moore coming back. And they're talking about David Brooks on loan as well. So talking's great, isn't it? We get that a lot at Hillsborough. But I think there'll be a lot of changes there. And I think a lot of the young players, they've got a really strong academy, to be fair. Again, very much like Wednesday. And they support them. They give them games. I think that number 5, that McGuinness lad's useless. I don't rate him.
Yeah, he can get in the bin. I'm not doing it.
But yeah, so I think it's gonna be interesting. I think at the end of the day, whilst we joked at the start about neither side really being interested, which I think to a large extent is true, you're still playing. There are still 2 championship sides. These are still 2 decent sides, and we are a decent side now, particularly after the last performance as well. We look impressive. You wouldn't have known the difference in the league there against Hull, and I think both are probably not going to want to lose by that much, really. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's a lot of the fringe players, younger lads, starting for both sides, but a few experienced heads on the bench just in case it gets a bit silly. I think and I think particularly for Wednesday, we need to keep that momentum going as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the bit that concerns me, because you kind of want to go, all right, it's the FA Cup, have a free hit, see you later. But both teams are going to put their fringe players in. It could be like a 5-all ding-dong. You don't know, right? It could be a right laugh. Vasquez might start and we might go, oh, Christ, you've actually got a player here. I do want to see Cadamarteri have a minute. He's clearly struggling with something. I want him to just sit that one out and then, make sure he's all right. Let's see Smudger or Gregory have a right old tear up, and let's see Reece James get a run out, that type of thing. I want to see if there's going to be competition for places after this game and things like that. I'd be excited about it, but you never know, because the FA Cup's also a great funds generator as well. And we can't fart around the poo when it comes to money. So it would be in the club's best interest to try and chalk up a win, get to the 3rd round proper, get a big club, half gate receipts and all that nonsense, just to pay Cameron Dawson for a week or whatever. I don't know how much it generates. I can't work it out. But yeah, it's a long way for them to come, and I can't work out which way it's going to go. I mean, is there any players that we're looking at there that you think, hang on, this geezer's going to cause some problems if they played?
If they played, Siopis, I'm a big fan of as well. Robinson, Grant as well, that played in that side. But again, for me, it's the other younger lads. I mentioned Ollie Tanner before. He's exciting. He's very much like Jack Grealish, diet Jack Grealish, really, with the hair and the shin pads.
Nice,
and
strong.
A bit of the talent as well. He's really, really tasty in that sense, and showed that when he came on against us a couple of weeks ago. And Ruben Colwell as well. He's very excited. Not surprised he's getting interest in the Premiership. But I just interesting you mentioned that about the FA Cup. I just wanted to get your opinion on it as well. I'm a purist in many senses, and I love the FA Cup. I do. Like the Maru were playing 3rd round. I'm like, right, you just got to do it. And it lost. That was my main frustration amongst millions of frustrations when we were in League One. But that we're in the 1st round, it just didn't really feel right. And I just want to win. I want us to win as many games as possible. To your point, get the money in the bank, get the fans excited again, build the atmosphere, and we're going to stay up. But I think a game like this against a Cardiff side that isn't that bothered either could be a bit of a catalyst.
The FA Cup's interesting because, like, for example, last season when we beat Newcastle, I was Johnny FA Cup. I was like, let's have it, let's go in. But the last 2 seasons I've been like, well, we've got a better thing on our plate, and that's getting out of League One, right? And then before that, we've got a bigger thing on our plate, stay in the Championship after this point deduction. And there always seems to be something to worry about. And then the couple of years, 2017, 2018, maybe 2019, I was like, yeah, let's have a couple of, and then we've dropped our ass. So you kind of like, and then in that period, they started playing the semis at Wembley, and then the final wasn't the last game of the season, and I felt like it really lost something, the FA Cup, by not being the coup de grace of the season. FA Cup, Champions League season finished. That's, you know what I mean? That's how it used to be. But to have the FA Cup final and then play another couple of fixtures, I found absolutely insane. And it didn't make it the marquee event that it used to be. The thing I like about the FA Cup is that you've got, like Reading playing away at Sutton United, or, Liverpool. I mean, what was that tiny team in and around Liverpool that they'd all played for? Like you know what I mean?
Marine FC, was it?
Marine FC. I love the stories like that. I really do. But I always enjoy it when like the cup draw comes out, and you get Wednesday fans on X, formerly Twitter, going, oh, bloody hell, we've got a shitty tie against Cardiff, and we've got a shitty tie against Reading, and a shitty tie against QPR. And it's not like Reading, QPR, and Cardiff are sat there going, bloody hell, we've got Sheffield Wednesday, that's amazing. They're as underwhelmed as we are. And I feel like for every potential fairy tale that the cup can throw up, there's 6 or 7 average fixtures that nobody gives a shit about. And we don't seem to be, because we're nowhere in this grand scheme of things, we're never one of those stories, unless we get a Marine or a Sutton, or a geezer on the sideline eating a pie. And I'm kind of like, this season, just like I said, like, we've got better things to worry about than the bloody FA Cup, if I'm honest. Are you not the same?
Yeah, I probably am. Come 9 o'clock Sunday morning when we've got beat 4-0, I'll probably be like, oh well, there we are, forget it, didn't even care anyway. And I'll be texting the boys going, right, if Cardiff get there, I'll come with you. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, of course, they've got a bit of history with it as well, and that's what excites a lot of Cardiff fans. 1927, the only non-English side to win it back in the day, is a statue outside the stunningly named Cardiff City Stadium.
Brilliant.
And it's unbelievable, really. And as well as 2008, and talking to some of the players, and back then, that's only 14 years ago. There is still an aura around. As soon as that is mentioned, the FA Cup, people go, "Oh yeah, I do want to win it." But I think you're right. I think you're right as well. There's an element of realism. Well, we're beating Newcastle now, richest club in the world. We're obviously going to win it, and we're obviously going to win League One. And then suddenly we're just the bee's knees, aren't we? We're the best. Yeah, it's not really going to work that way. Just enjoy this win, and let's worry about Forest Green, and let's not even go on about that.
Exactly that. Now, I tell you what, I was desperately trying to just download this picture here, because I kind of wanted to ask you about it, because now I've got a bit of an affinity with South Wales. I used to go out with a girl from Lanarkshire back in the day, which
you probably know her.
Yeah. Well, she used to work at the radio station with me, and her nickname was Kelly Man Voice. So you can imagine how she sounded with that proper Cardiff accent, like, fucking and all that. Like, yeah, absolutely amazing. And then there was a point when I used to work on radio. And I don't even remember, around about 2008, 2009, a lot of radio stations got in trouble because they pretended to give away tickets to events. And one of them was I was doing a 2-week cover on Red Dragon FM. And I was the guy that they used to ring up to do the accents to pretend to win to win the ticket. So we'd have like Matt Lassac on it. Oh God, I'm just giving his name away. We had like one of the presenters on going, today we've got Angus. We've got Angus. Where are you from? Oh, hello. I think the answer's Justin Timberlake. And then I won the tickets. You know what I mean? And then there was a whole thing at Ofcom. It was a whole thing that got everybody in trouble. But one thing I did want to ask, because I've been at the ground a few times, is that on the you have retro kits in the club shop.
Yeah.
At Cardiff, they have one, and I recognise the logo straight away, and nobody else did. But it had the Super Ted logo. Now, those of you old enough to remember, Super Ted was a guy who knocked around with an alien called Spotty Man, and he had this emblem on the front of his top. And Cardiff City had a kit, and we're talking like mid-80s now, aren't we? Cardiff City had a kit with the Super Ted logo on it. I have still, and I've never got round to Googling it. I don't suppose you know why that was, do you?
I don't, not to ruin the segment, but at the same time, we'll definitely find out there's plenty out there that are into the classic kits, and Cardiff classic football shirts, funnily enough, who do a lot of brilliant work. They've got some great kits as well. There was one with the super furry animals back in the mid 90s.
Yeah.
They sponsored one, the old school drawstring kind of neck, and they had their logo on it as well.
The drawstring neck, something you don't see enough of nowadays.
You don't, to be honest. And I for one want to start bringing it back. But Super Ted, a bit of a Welsh hero, probably could have got a game or two over the years back in the 80s. And and again, proper badge there as well. So that would have been an S4C influence, or S Pedwar Ec for the thousands of first language Welsh listeners on this. But yeah, I'm fascinated myself now. I remember that shirt. I just don't remember it with the Super Ted logo on. But yeah,
I wonder if it was like a short-term one. I'm now just going to go tearing around historical football kits. But it just dawned on me. I went to go and watch Saints versus Cardiff for God knows reason. Like, you know what I mean? I don't understand why these things happen in my life. But like, I was there watching it, and in the club shop, I was like, that's the Super Ted logo. And it's just one. And it went until I just realized I was talking to you tonight that I realized actually Simon might know. You know what I mean? All right, so I tell you what, then this is going to be absolute pie in the sky thinking, but let's go for a prediction. Si, what are you thinking?
4-0 Wednesday.
4-0 Wednesday. A good solid.
I think it's going to be. I think we're going to get one. I think Liam Palmer's going to score on the 42nd minute. We're going to go in. It's going to be the worst first half of football that anyone has seen. Not in terms of display, just no chances.
Yeah.
Then Smudge is going to get 2 before 65 minutes.
Right.
And then I think in the 94th minute, Masaba's going to be on for some reason, and he's going to score a free kick.
I tell you what, you're going to have to put
that
a bet
worth
on
a pound,
that now.
Isn't it?
Yeah, I was going to say it's like when you drop a chip on the roulette. You're like, I've got to leave that there. I can't pick that up now. That just stays where it is because now you've said it. It's happening.
Simon, or Ruben Colwell is going to come on and score a hat trick, and Wednesday will lose 3-0.
Oh, potato could happen. Nobody knows what's happening. Simon, thanks a lot, mate. See you later.
Take care.
This podcast is proud to be part of the TalkSport Fan Network. TalkSport, powered by fans.
It's a goal! What a goal! It's absolutely world class from Marcus Tunde.
Johnson puts it in the air. Aidan Flynn wins the It's still with Lee Gregory. He's in the box. Tries to screw it. Is it going to be there? Yes! Oh my word!